So in this episode, I really want to tap into purpose. What is purpose? What's the meaning of it? Where do you get it? Where do you find it? Like, are you born with it? Do you have to go out there and find it and work hard and then somebody will give it to you? Do you meet somebody who leads you on that path? A door opens and then all of a sudden you step into it. Like, what is purpose? The meaning of purpose to you? Because as I'm speaking now, I remember years ago when I was at that place in my life where I didn't have a clue what I was doing. No idea. I'd wake up in the morning and I was so lost. I had no direction, no guidance. I didn't understand that word and it used to trigger me. It used to trigger me when I'd watch YouTube videos or I'd watch people like me who are like, you need to live a purpose-driven life. But what's a purpose-driven life? Like, what is that meaning to you? Whoever you are who's found this video, if you can't answer that question, if it's a struggle, if you need clarity on it, if there's something within you that's like, I don't know what it is, but I want it, then just know that this video is aligned for you. You're meant to be here because this is I feel like what I'm feeling into as I'm recording, I needed to hear this. This is the advice that I needed way back when I literally had nothing. I was so, like, I know I was rock bottom, like everyone knows my story with my mental health and PTSD, and I was in domestic violent relationships and all of the things, but I'm not even talking about that. Like, let's just set that to a side. In regards to what do you want to do with your life? Like, what are you there for? What impact are you there to have? Like, what lights you up inside? What gives you meaning? What excites you? Like, when you wake up in the morning, how do you envision your life? All of that, like, even without the shit that I had going on in my life, I couldn't feel into that frequency. I couldn't visualize a future for myself because I didn't understand how. Like, it comes back to what was on about in the last video, understanding the how. So every time I might have had a little glimpse. Say I was watching Tony Robbins and he's like, you need to do this, you need to do that, and he's so uplifting and his vibration, you feel it within you. He could like set something off in me, but then it's like, but that's never going to be me. Like, I'm never going to achieve that. I'm never going to have that life. How am I going to make that happen? Like, and then it came down to, which I want you also to feel into now, your story. What's your story? Like, think of something in your life that you want to do, that you want to be, that you want to have. Whether it's a nice home to bring your kids up in, whether it's that dream car that you've always wanted, whether it's a successful business where you make something of your life, whether it's getting out of these cycles with the same types of men that you attract and you vibrationally align yourself with in your life, whether it's these toxic relationships and people, this low vibrational frequency. When you feel into what you want, what's your story on why you can't have it? Why aren't you deserving of it? Why can't you go out there right now after you've watched this video and make it happen? Why can't you start showing up for your dreams? Why can't you start creating a life that you feel within you, like deep within you, like you deserve, that you're destined to live, that you can create, you're more than capable of creating? So why don't you go out there and do it? Why are you still here? Why are you still in the same place that you was 2 months ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, 4 years ago for some of you? Why? What is it that makes your life feel like you're just at a standstill? Like nothing's changing. You're settling. You're in the exact place that you was when we started 2024. But 2025, you said it was the year it was going to happen. You're going to leave that comfort zone. You're going to start putting yourself out there. You're going to make it happen. You're going to go all in. Whether that's with the gym, healthy eating, leaving that relationship. No, I'm done. I'm not carrying this shit into 2025, but you're still in it, aren't you? Whether that's showing up more on your social media, taking it to the next level, showing up more in your business, or whether it is that new business venture that you said you was going to start. Maybe it was writing a new book, starting a podcast, starting a YouTube channel. What is it that's holding you back? Why aren't you going all in? See, a question that I get asked a lot is, when it came to me being in that dark place in my life where I lost everything, I didn't have anything, I didn't have a pot to piss in, I couldn't even afford to get my son an ice cream. When I went to pay, the card got declined and I had to take him home without an ice cream. That's how low vibration I was at that time in my life. And I think people who meet me now and come onto my journey, and as my following's growing, and even as I've started this YouTube channel, I'm getting a lot of new people coming into my energetic field. I feel like sometimes people can be like, well, that's easy for you to say because you've got money and you've got this life. But how did I create that? How did I go out there and make it happen? Was it because I read a book? Was it because I listened to a podcast? Was it because I started getting obsessed with Tony Robbins? Was it because my dream man came along and was like, I've got you, I'll take care of you, let's go? Was it anything outside of me? No, it wasn't. It was the inner work that I went all in on. It was the connection to me. It was the figuring out who I was and what I'm here to do. That's what led me to finding my purpose. And I have a belief that I went through everything that I went through on my journey, all of it. All of the lessons, all of the learning, all of the growth, all of the struggles, all of the pain, everything that I went through so that I could teach this. So that I could be a voice for the voiceless. So that I could show you the way from a place of, I've done it. Like, look where I was back then. Look at the path. Look at the story. Look at my journey. I'm not saying that I learned anything from books and podcasts. It's from wisdom. It's the work that I put in on me. Not on my business, not on my success, not on making money, on me. And when it comes to finding your purpose, and this is why I've created this brand new 6-week intensive mentorship program. It's going to be life-changing. I've never done anything to this depth before, which is why I'm so excited. But the reason why I've created it is because we believe, and I see it all the time, I see it on social media, I see it with the women that I work with, I see it with me one-to-one clients, I see it with every person that I meet. We have this belief that we're just gonna one morning wake up and we'll just know our purpose. We'll just be guided, and we wait around for the guidance, like, when's it gonna come? When's it gonna come? Like, when's somebody gonna come in and show me the way? Like, when is that door gonna open? When's that opportunity going to be given to me? And the reason I say that is because I was in that energy too for a very long time. And then we think that we'll just find it and we'll just go all in on it and that will be it. And then you're like, this is my purpose. This is me. But I want to tell you something. If you do feel that way about what you do, about who you are as a person and the life that you lead, and if you feel like one morning you just woke up and you knew it was for you, and you haven't done any healing work, you haven't been on a journey of deep self-discovery, you haven't really connected back to the truth of who you are, to that little girl inside of you. You haven't gone back to your childhood. You haven't gone back to how you was brought up by your mum and your dad, and every single soul contract that you've been through on your path, like all of it. Like I'm on about every single aspect of the work, but yet you think that you're in your purpose. I'm here to tell you that you're not, because that was me. see, when I started doing the inner work, I just went all in on manifestation, the law of attraction, all of like the money mindset. I became obsessed with learning about money, listening to all of the motivational speakers, became obsessed with David Goggins, reading all of the books, Rich Dad Poor Dad, Think and Grow Rich, like all of the stuff. And then I fell into my aesthetics business, and then I used to wake up and be like, this is it, this is me, I'm set for life. I've got this successful training academy, I've got my own salon, I've got the clients, I've got the reputation. Like, I was at a space where nothing could get any better. And I was in a feeling of, like, I just woke up one morning after doing, like, you know, the work around making money and shifting my vibration to attract more into my life. And then I was living a purpose-driven life. And that was never it. I created a life that wasn't mine. I was disconnected. I wasn't in my truth. I wore a mask every single day. And then I created this life that I felt like I couldn't get out of. There was no escaping. I'm in it now. So you're going to have to stay in it. Because you've already got this far, so there's no going back. So I don't care how uncomfortable that mask is to wear and how heavy it feels. You wake up every morning, you put it on. Because you've got this expectation now to live up to. And that came from a place of fear. It came from a place of anger. I was in a victim consciousness massively. And if I'm in my truth, that's how that business was born. It was born through being a victim. It was born through being angry at the world. Thinking that life wasn't fair, everybody owed me. Why me? Like, I was in so much anger and holding so much resentment and hurt and bitterness and jealousy and all of the emotions behind that relationship and that situation that I went through, that I was like, right, I'm going to pour this into building a business. I'm going to make it happen, and you're going to sit back and watch me. And I'm going to completely change my whole entire life around, and everyone's going to sit back and watch me do it. I didn't do it for me. I done it for you. I done it for that relationship. I done it for the 12-year-old little girl whose mum left and made me feel like I wasn't good enough. So I carried that hurt and pain inside of me. I'll show you I'm not good enough. Watch this now. Watch me create a business and a life that nobody believes that I'd ever be able to do. In fact, I didn't believe I'd ever take it that far. That was my driving force. The driving force was the pain. The driving force was the victim. Woe is me. And then it got to a place where I couldn't keep it up. I couldn't. The cracks started to show. And every single day started to be a struggle for me. Faking it. Trying to keep up with this life that I didn't even want. I didn't care about the Rolex that I had on my wrist. I didn't care about the Porsche that I drove and thought I was the bee's knees because you're going to judge me from the car that I drive, and the Louis bag on my wrist and the way that I showed up. Like, none of it was me. And I hid behind everything external because I was absolutely terrified of being witnessed in my truth and my vulnerability and in my realness and in the truth of who I was. And then I went on a journey of self-discovery, the real work. That's what led me to my life purpose. That is how I now live a purpose-driven life from the heart space. It's how I'm so connected to my intuition. It's how I'm so in my truth. It's how I took that mask off. It's how I got out of that vicious cycle with men, attracting the same men into my energetic field, because I was attracting the men from the little girl inside of me, the 12-year-old little girl whose mum left, whose mum who felt abandoned and unlovable, and then my alcoholic dad had to bring me up, and I was taught that the masculine wasn't safe, and I didn't know how to receive love. So then what did I attract? Men who couldn't give me love. Men who was emotionally unavailable. All because I was operating from the wound within me. So the business was built from the wounding, not from the heart space. The men that I was getting into relationships with was attracted from the wound. It was feeding the wound within me, that I couldn't receive love. I felt unlovable. I was terrified of being abandoned. So then I would attract men who fed that wound of abandoning me, of making me feel unlovable, of making me feel unseen, not wanted, not heard, making me feel like I didn't have a voice. The thing is, when it comes to asking for what you want from life, I can sit here now and say, I want a man who's all in, who's gonna love me like no other, who's gonna give me everything that I believe that I'm deserving of, who's gonna see me, who's gonna value me like I want to be high on his list of values in life. I want a man who meets me needs. But this is me and my conscious mind. My conscious mind knows what I want, of course. So your conscious mind knows that you want a successful business. It knows that you want to make money. You want to live in a nice house. You want to drive a nice car. You want to take your kids on nice holidays. That's the conscious mind. But the conscious mind is only 5%. The 95% of the mind is the subconscious. That's the programming. That's the generational trauma. That's the limiting beliefs. That's the stories. That's the cycles. That's the patterns. That's the wounds. So consciously, I was asking for a man to come into my life and meet all of my needs and be Mr. Fantastic. But on the subconscious level, I attracted a man who wasn't available for me, who couldn't love me, who would abandon me. Because that's how I felt inside. That was the deep-rooted wound. We don't attract what we want. We don't get what we want in life. We attract who we are. We get who we are. We get who we had a vibrational match to receive. Money, friendships, relationships, all of it. Every aspect of your life. Just all a vibration. And that's my vision for this program. We're going straight into the subconscious. I'm not working with your conscious mind, because your conscious mind is the vision board, is the goal list. And here's the thing, like when it comes to the law of attraction. So the law of attraction teaches us, right? The law of attraction teaches us that you get what you want. Like attracts like, yeah? So whatever you want, whatever you desire, whatever you put out there, you'll get it right back at you. Because it's a want. And that's manifestation. Manifestation, you get what you want, yeah? But then the part that everybody misses out, and this is what I'm going to be teaching, I'm very, very big on. Like, I'm so big on universal laws. It changed my life, studying universal laws. The universal law, the law of vibration, states that you don't get what you want. You get what you're a vibrational match for. So let's say that you're out here right now saying, I want this success in my business. I want 20k months. I want all of these clients. Let's say that your desire is so strong that you're like, I can see it. I've got a vision board, and I even do a visualization practice every single day. I'm out here manifesting. I know all about the law of attraction. I've watched The Secret and I've read the book. But is it working for you? Are you manifesting it all? Is your life where you want it to be? Do you feel like you're in your purpose? Do you feel like you lead with your heart space? Do you feel like you live a purpose-driven life? Like when you wake up in the morning, whatever you do for a living, whatever you do, whether you work in the Asda or you've got a multi-six-figure business, it's all energy. Do you believe that that is what you came here to do? Do you believe that you're in service? Do you believe that you are living the life that you came here, that you incarnated in this lifetime to live? Do you believe that you're in your soul? This is what you came here to do. Does it light you up? Does it feed you? Are you living a life on purpose? Because you can want all you want. You can have the best vision boards. I've seen it. I've seen the best vision boards. The vision boards that my students have. I'm like, oh my God, how long did that even take? Yeah, like they go all in with their vision boards. But nothing's changing in their lives. They've still got the same goals that they stepped into 2024 with. Why? Because the law of vibration states that it's the internal work that changes your vibration, your frequency. It's not the goal list, it's not the vision board, it's not you telling the universe, it's not you sitting and visualizing, it's not all of that. What are your core beliefs? What are your wounds? What are your cycles? What are your patterns? What was passed down to you from your mum and your dad and the people who brought you up? What do you believe to be true? Because remember, there is no truth, only your truth. My truth isn't your truth. The same way your truth isn't your mum's truth or your best friend's truth or your partner's truth. What you believe to be true is your truth. The universe will give you what you believe that you are deserving of. So you can want the business, you can want the man, you can want the success, you can want the money, you can want it all. But if you have got a wound from childhood, which we all have, we've all got inner child wounds. It's a part of the human experience. It's part of what your soul chose. Your soul chose your mum and your dad to give you those lessons that you needed to learn. When you do this inner work, you realise how much everything makes sense. You realise why your life is exactly where it is. And you're not going to like this, but you'll realise that you're the only one to blame. It's all on you. You're the only one. Because for as long as we say, well, no, it's his fault. It's my mum's fault. It's my alcoholic dad's fault. That relationship was so hard, it broke me. For as long as we blame everybody else, we give them our power. It's the second that you own your story, that you own who you are, that you realise everything that you went through was to teach you the lessons that you came here to learn. You become unstoppable. And it really is when you have the courage to go inwards. You go back to your childhood. You go back to the people who hurt you. You go back to your mum and your dad and your family dynamic. You go back to every single challenge that you've been through in your life and you face it all. It's when you really, really do the shadow work that you realise who you are. You realise your truth. You realise that the life that you live in isn't it. None of it is it. The relationships that you're attracting, the cycles that you find yourself in, they can't be broken. They'll never ever be broken. And just feel into that, feel into those cycles, because those cycles was passed down to you. Generational trauma is 7 generations behind us. 7. The cycle came to you with the opportunity for you to break it. And the key word there being opportunity, because you came here to have this human experience with free will. You came here with free will. You don't have to do this work. You can choose not to. It's a choice. So as you're watching this video and there's something within you that's saying, I need to do this work, it's time. I know that I need to heal. I know that I need to break free from these cycles, from these patterns. I know that I can't continue to live my life the way that I've been living it. That feeling is straight from your soul. It's your intuition. But then you have free will to go against that. You don't have to do it. You can say, no, actually, I'm not going to do that. It's too hard. I'd rather just settle, because that's easier. It's easier not to do this work. But if you're somebody who's looking to find your purpose, to live a life where you get to be you, no mask, no filters, no pretending, no roles to play, no people pleasing, no being like this or being like that. You just get to be you. Do what you want. Be who you want to be. That inner freedom from deep within. That feeling that nobody can take away from you, because nobody outside of yourself will give it to you. It's from within. Then it's time to go on a journey of self-discovery. It's time to meet you. It's time to do the inner work. It's time to heal. It's time to face yourself. Else, you will go on to the next business idea. You will go on to the next man. You will go on to the next project, the next part of your journey, the next friendship group, whatever it is. And you will find yourself right back at square one. I've done it. I've gone round in circles for years until I'd done the inner work. The inner child work, it changed my life. I say it all the time. That's why I teach it so passionately. Inner child work is the magic key to you setting yourself free. Free from whatever it is. Maybe it's not a man. Maybe it's not a relationship. Maybe it's not a cycle. Maybe you're in a happy marriage. Maybe you've got a nice car. Maybe you live in a beautiful home. Maybe you've got a nice bank account. But are you happy? Are you fulfilled? Are you in your truth? Do you have a feeling within you of inner peace, which no one can take away from you, no matter how triggered you are, no matter how much somebody tries to hurt you, no matter how much somebody speaks down to you? Anything outside of yourself can't affect that energy. That's your birthright. You came here whole and complete, not needing anything outside of you, nothing. It's all within you. And we all deserve that in this lifetime. But we have to go within to find that. And we have to stop looking out there. We have to stop with the seeking and the searching and the waiting and the wanting. We have to come back home to who we are. We have to courageously say yes to rediscovering us. No matter what that looks like or feels like or how hard it gets. But it's like this determination within your soul of being like, I need to figure out who I am. Because it's time to step into my purpose. It's time to be in my heartspace. It's time to set myself free. Because I don't have to stay here. I've stayed here long enough. Get honest with yourself right now. How long have you stayed here in this part of your life? This part of your journey? How long have you been unhappy? How long have you worn a mask? How long have you hid yourself away from this world? How long have you silenced yourself? Not spoke your truth? Being a people pleaser? Meeting everybody else's needs? Being in a state of fear? Scared that they're going to leave you? They're going to abandon you? They're not going to stick around? Terrified to be on your own? So then you move on to the next one. But he's the same as the last one. The universe will send you the same lesson over and over again until you learn it. And then do you want me to tell you something well deeper than that? The lesson will stay on repeat generation after generation. What you don't heal in this lifetime, you will pass down to your children. What you choose not to face, what you avoid, what you close the door on. I'm not dealing with that shit. All of those skeletons in your closet will be passed down to your children. You are the foundation to the work that they will have to do in their lifetime. The same way that your parents laid the foundation for you. This is the work that your parents didn't do, and their parents didn't do. And the cycle repeats 7 generations. I believe that if you're drawn to this video and if you're still watching now all this time, then you're the cycle breaker. I believe that you're the one. I believe that it's your soul's calling, your soul's destiny to do this inner work and rediscover the truth of who you are. This is the unbecoming, the undoing, the taking off the mask, the layer by the layer. The real rawness and depth of figuring you out. Getting to know you on a level that you've never experienced before. Nobody has ever experienced before. Because the subconscious is just a program created from when you was 0 to 7 years of age. Every fear, every belief, every limit, all of the patterns, all of the thoughts, the feelings, the systems, everything just given to you. Because you're like a little sponge. And that's where your worldview is created from the people who bring us up. Might be your mum, your dad, your school teacher, your grandma, your granddad, whoever it is, an older sibling. But that's not the truth of who we are. They're not your beliefs, they're not your stories, they're not your fears.